we outplayed them in so many different areas of the game. We outrushed them. We outpassed them. Offensively, we had 17 explosive plays to their 13. But it comes back to doing the things you have to do to win the game, and was just disappointed in our miscues on special teams, And I told the kids today, whenever you get a punt blocked and, we had a second one partially blocked, the odds are you don't win the game. So that kind of a miscue, and then having a kickoff return, run back. It's just so difficult to overcome those types of mistakes, especially on the road. And even with that, we came back and tied the game up, and our guys made it close, and we just couldn't overcome the quarterback and the quarterback scrambles. The quarterback had over 100 yards rushing, and really there was only 2 designed runs. The rest of them were drop-back scrambles where we pressured him, and we just have to do a better job managing him when he gets out in space, and that absolutely killed us. And in the second half, we didn't make the plays. We came out well in the third quarter. We scored. Then we let them score, and we came back and scored again. We just didn't respond at the point of the game where we had to come out on top, especially in the second half. And that was disappointing. Moving on to this week, obviously we start conference play. We play Air Force. They're 1-2. Troy Calhoun's been there for a dozen years. Their staff has been there. They are a really an interesting team, obviously, in our schedule to play. They have their own formula to win. Obviously they're going to run the triple option and try to control the game. The time of possession is very important when you play them. They played a couple of quarterbacks. They have 5 backs with double-digit carries. And their offensive line is relatively young. But they have a real challenge for us. We spent a lot of time studying them and preparing for them in the offseason to be able to handle that option. Defensively, they returned 6 starters. They are solid on special teams. They're aggressive in their schemes. So we're going to really have to do a great job versus them. Overall, we're excited. We're really excited to start conference play. And this is always a challenging prep for us. So this gets our attention really quick. And we have an opportunity to start conference play the right way. A year ago, we kind of took a step back after the non-conference, and we really challenged our team to improve every week in conference play, and we did that. I think last year we started off conference, we were averaging 24 points a game on offense, and by the time we finished conference, I think we were scoring 33 points a game. This year we're averaging 40 points a game, so we're much different than we have been last year. And hopefully we can make that similar type of improvement as we move through the conference. And we're challenging our guys to do that offensively. Defensively is the same thing. We're not happy with how we're playing defense right now. We're giving up 39 points a game, and we have to start trimming that down and managing that better to give ourselves a real chance. And turnover-wise, same thing. We want to really minimize them as we go forward and really protect the football and really start attacking people and taking away. I think those are the key things for us. As we move into the 4th game, we're looking at our freshmen, and really we have about 6 freshmen on offense that are going to play as true freshmen, and about 5 on defense that are going to play as true freshmen this year, and that may grow as we move forward. We're really starting 3 freshmen on offense, true freshmen. Romeo Dubs has really earned an opportunity to be a starter just by the way he's practiced. The way Taua's playing, he didn't play the first snap, but he's basically a starter, rushing for, over 150 yards in a game. And then, Aaron Frost is a guy who was a defensive tackle last week, Tuesday. We moved him Wednesday to offensive tackle. He played in the game against Oregon State and then started this week at right tackle. So we got a lot of young kids that are responding and getting better. And, they're going to be important to us as we move through conference. So, any questions?
You mentioned those freshmen. Are there certain ones that you've already decided you're going to try and keep the redshirt year moving forward?
The quarterback Carson Strong. We played him in the opener, but we're going to be smart about him. I'd love to play him 3 more games and still keep his red shirt. And so the kids that haven't played, in these first 4 games, it'll be a need base. If we have injuries or something and we need to play them, we will. But, the 2 young running backs are going to play. The 2 receivers are playing a lot. Aaron Frost at tackle. We're going to play Krishan Lapham at tight end. He's going to play this year. On defense, we got Jaden Dedman at corner, Jawan Claiborne, Jordan Lee in the secondary, and then the 2 linebackers, Foda Feely and Josiah Bradley. They're all going to play. So, those kids are going to have to do a good job on special teams. And then we'll just kind of see as we move on. If we can play some of these guys and still keep their red shirt, that'll be the plan. But, the reality is it's a long season. Guys get nicked, guys get hurt, and you have to play more people.
Any update on Nephi Sewell?
Yeah, we did some x-rays with him this morning, and they were positive. He hasn't been cleared to play yet, but we're hoping that we're going to get more positive news on him. We're going to take a look at Deion Henley. We're moving Deion to defense, and he's going to play some safety. And, that's just kind of what we've been pretty creative about moving people and giving them an opportunity. And, we never thought Aaron Frost would react the way he did, but he's 320-pound freshman. He's 6'5". He's very physical. He loves to play. And he's just helped us be more physical in the Union. I can't tell you how important for us to run the ball physically. We controlled the time of possession last week. We had several long drives, and that had to do with how we were able to run the ball physically. And so that's a big part of us growing as a team, and Frost has helped us with that. Real shot in the arm getting Sean Krebs back. He played about 30 snaps, and probably will be able to start him this week, and that'll be really good for solidifying the communication in the Union. I can't tell you how big a shot in the arm Calais Meyer's been to our football team, just playing in Sean's absence, and we'll be able to play him at guard some and center, and just give Palomares and Ledbetter and Nate Brown a little break at guard. So that will help us. We should really improve in our offensive line in these last 8 games, and we really want to see improvement in our defensive line and our secondary. I mean, those are areas where we should get better every single week, and we should show improvement.
I guess in the same breath, O'Leary Orange, if there's any update with him?
Yeah, Brendan's improving and getting better. He hasn't been totally cleared to play this week, but we're hoping that as as the week moves along, he'll be more involved in what we're doing.
Let's Tell the Truth Monday. What were some of the truths told today?
It's we look at the good, the bad, and the ugly, and obviously when you win, it's more bad and ugly. But we have to play better. You can't give up that much yardage on scrambles. We have to take better angles. We got to run to the ball. We got to get the guy down in space. We have to play better pass defense. We're giving up inside leverage on posts too much, and that's just being in the proper alignment. And we know this. We have to be super efficient in our offense this week. When you play an Air Force team who limits your possessions, it's really critical that you execute at the highest level. So we have to continue to grow with our ability to run the football. But we've talked a lot about the areas of improvement, the special teams things that we made mistakes on. The punt game, we have to snap better, we have to catch a snap, and we have to get the ball off. And that's critical. So, those are all correctable errors. Kickoff coverage, same thing. And so we just have to improve on that and make progress in those areas.
You guys have been pretty good on special teams those first 3 games. I mean, pretty marked improvement from last year. I guess what kind of happened in this one?
It's the punt game. The one thing you have to do consistently is punt the football. If you punt it and play defense, you have a chance to win. And our job is to win, whether we win 7-3 or we win, 52-50. Our job is to win, and we just have to execute better on the punt game. We do several different things, and we have to understand the most important thing is to snap the ball, to catch the snap, and protect the punt. And if we do that consistently, we'll give ourselves a chance every week. The kickoff coverage stuff, they have talented return men. That was one thing. They're going to be as talented as a receiver core that we'll see all year, and those kids are good return men. And so when you give those guys creases in return game, they're capable of hurting you, and that's what happened to us. The other thing is Ramiz as a kicker. Your kicker is a safety man, and he ran up and tried to make a tackle, and when he misses, there's nobody left. And so his job is to string the play along and keep it alive, and so that was a mistake by him as well. So we can't make those kind of errors. I've been coaching a long time, and the games when you get a punt block, you rarely win. So we have to do a much better job there.
How would you characterize how football is played within the Mountain West Conference? What kind of conference is it?
I told our players and coaches, we're going to have to play these wild kind of games and win, find a way to win. And, sometimes that's just getting off the field one more time on defense. Sometimes that's just getting a tip and getting a turnover. Or maybe it's taking advantage offensively and making a big play. The reality is, when you play a team like Air Force, they possess the ball about 38 minutes against everybody they play. And so for us, the challenge is to be balanced and to keep the ball. And if they don't have it, they can't score. And so we're going to have to do a good job of that and then being efficient with our drives. The reality is we need to score over half of our possessions. And that's the way it's going to be all through this conference. I think we have 4 or 5 teams in the league that are averaging 40 points a game. And right now we're scoring 40 a game and we're giving up 39. And so that's not that very, very big of a margin of error for us in games. So we have to play off each other. That was one thing we didn't do in the second half. When the offense scored, the defense didn't stop them. And so we have to play off each other in all phases to have success week to week. And so, that's our challenge. I thought we played hard. I thought we left it on the field. There wasn't no issues with that. We just have to play better.
Through the first third of the season, the non-conference play, I guess, what are your thoughts on where the team is and what you've done well and what you need to improve?
I think we've improved. I look back last year at our non-conference. I think we were averaging like 24 points a game. Right now we're averaging 40 points a game, so that's huge improvement. And then, we jumped up about 9 points when we went into the Mountain West. So, we got to show that kind of improvement offensively as we move through this conference. The other thing defensively, we feel like we've played the run better. But the scrambles in that game skew the statistics terribly. And so we've got to do a better job managing the run, stepping up, making people throw the football against us consistently. And then we got to limit the big plays in the pass game. We gave up too many in this last game. And that comes from being in the right alignment and not giving up inside breaking routes. And so that's important for us. I don't think, the character of our defense was how we played in this last game. And we got to get this out of our system and go back to work and play the kind of defense we're capable of playing. And if we show improvement week to week, I think we can be one of the better teams in this league.
I mean, obviously the triple option is very unique, and it's not something that Nevada's done a very good job of stopping. You played against them before, but what did you learn from last year's game against Air Force, and what do you guys need to do well to be able to continue?
Well, I think the big thing is just our being assignment sound and how we're going about that physically. You know, we've spent extra time on these guys in practice, being able to play their schemes and linebackers getting over tackles, blocks when they're trying to shimmy and work to the second level, and taking the proper angles and changing it up. You know, we got to. You know, I think one of the things we've learned from watching other teams play them is that there's certain change-ups you can give them, you know, so they're not dialing in on what we're doing defensively. And so, you know, it's the kind of game where you know, they do pitch the ball a lot, they do run the quarterback a lot, but the ball's in the air. You know, it's not always on a pass. A lot of times it's on a pitch. But if we can be disruptive and catch them, we can get the ball on the ground. And those turnovers really become big because they're a methodical offense. And if you can steal a possession from them, it's really important, you know. And, you know, and on that note, you know, they go for it more than any team in our league. They've gone for it on fourth down to try to keep the ball. You know, and in last year's game, we got to remember they had an onside kick on us right before the half. They scored 21 points in the second quarter. Stole the possession from us. So we've got to do a good job of understanding those situations and understanding the personality of this team. They're very smart about how they go about their business. Their defense plays off their offense. And you look at, you know, everybody struggles with it. You know, you look at Oklahoma this past week with Army in the triple option. I think Army had the ball 45 minutes in that game. And you don't get as many opportunities on offense. And you have to be balanced. You can't just think you're going to throw the ball all around the park, because all of a sudden you've thrown some incompletions and they get the ball back, and now it's 8, 9, 10 minutes before you get it back on offense. So it's very well conceived what they do. I think we understand how to play them better, but we have to execute. You know, we have to execute defensively in how we're taking care of the quarterback, how we're assigned for the pitch, and running at the proper angles to the ball and getting them down. So it's a big challenge, but I think we understand how to attack them much better this year.
How important is it to handle business away from home? Is that kind of weighing on you guys at this point?
It's important. You know, these road games are important. You know, this is a game that we really need to have, you know, for our goals this season. We need to go on the road and win. And, you know, we're not afraid to openly talk about that. It's a big challenge. We have a sense of urgency about preparing and getting ready for this team. And, you know, we took a much better mindset on the road this past week, and we really got to dial in now and step up our focus for an in-conference opponent. These games mean better. They mean more to us, and so we really got to get our attention on these guys and really prepare for them this week.
What did it mean to see Taua go off the way he did?
It was great to see. You know, the runs that we had, especially in the second half, were huge, and we had 10 big play runs in this game, something that we haven't had. And when we can run the ball effectively like that, it really allows us to control the physicality of the game, and that's something that we weren't able to do last year. And the more that we can do that, the better it allows us to handle the opponents, you know, both offensively and defensively. It helps our defense when we can run the ball that way, and so that's something we have to continue to build on.
Anything else for Coach?
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you. Questions for Todd?
You're never really known for their triple option offense, but what do they like to do on defense after playing against them last year?
Yeah, you know, after watching a lot of film, after playing them last year, we know that they're going to want to play us physical. They're going to want to be aggressive defensively, probably try to load the box a little more. And, make us try to force us to throw it. So, you know, what we're focusing on offense this week is just taking advantage of every possession we get, because we just know their style of play. You know, we're going to get limited possessions, so it's really important for us this week to take advantage of every possession we get.
Does that kind of put more pressure on you guys that, you know, if you have a 3 and out, you might not be looking at the ball for another 15 minutes?
Yeah, I think it just puts more of an emphasis on our focus and our attention to detail this week, because, you know, there's not a lot of margin for error this week, so it's all about executing and really focusing on the details this week.
How do you feel like you guys progressed through the non-conference? I mean, do you feel like you got out of it as a much better team?
Yeah, I think we've improved through our non-conference play. You know, I think we got, you know, a fresh start this week coming up with conference, so we want to keep improving offensively and keep getting better every week.
With that said, what do you see that's maybe left out there that you guys could really hone in on?
I think just a couple big plays. You know, every week, win or lose, there's definitely stuff to learn from watching film, and you know, every week it seems like, you know, we're still leaving a couple more touchdowns out there, a couple more, you know, 3rd or 4th down conversions that could keep us on the field and finishing off drives. So, yeah, just a couple big plays out there.
Taua seems like he's really stepped forward and, you know, taken on a big role. I guess, well, why do you think he's been so successful as a true freshman, and what are his strengths?
Yeah, I mean, he's really talented. He's got a real spark to him, and, you know, I like how he's good at reading holes and hitting them hard. You know, on the one 60-yarder or whatever, that one, you know, I turned around and didn't even see him hit the hole. He hit it so fast. So, you know, really impressed with him as a freshman, coming out and making the plays that he's made so far. So, you know, exciting having him in the backfield and being balanced offensively. You know, our offensive run and pass game will really complement each other.
Do you feel like this is a fresh slate as you head into Mountain West play? Does it feel like kind of a new beginning?
Yeah, definitely. You know, we're 2-2 right now, and our goal is still out there to win the Mountain West Championship. So, starts with a fresh start this week and getting a win on the road.
How would you characterize how football is played in the Mountain West Conference?
Yeah, I'd say it's the competition in the Mountain West has really increased. I think there's a lot of good teams out there, and you know, you never really know who's going to win each week. So, you know, I think it's about treating every team with respect, with the same amount of respect, and it's all about executing every week.
Is there a feeling of kind of the monkey on the back with not winning on the road and you know, going back out on the road this weekend?
Maybe. You know, in order for us to be a good team and, you know, have a chance at winning the Mountain West, you got to be able to win on the road. So, you know, still a big emphasis for us. It's a big game, and you know, it's difficult. It's just different playing on the road. So, you know, it'll be huge for us this week and trying to get that first win.
What did you learn from the matchup last year against them?
I think just their style of play and just learning from that. You know, I think in order to win this game, it's gonna take all 3 phases of the game. Offense, defense, and special teams. We're really going to have to play as a team. It's going to have to be a real team effort to win this game.
You guys are basically scoring 40 points and giving up 40 points a game. I mean, that's the most of any team in the nation. I mean, what does it feel like in these games where, you know, because you need 5, 6, 7 touchdowns to win a game at this point? Yeah.
You know, it just means there's a small margin of error for what we're doing on offense. You know, it makes it so that, you know, there'll be a couple games or a couple plays in the game that really will affect the outcome. And you don't really know when those plays will happen. So it's all about, you know, detail and focusing up every time we get the ball and really taking advantage, especially this week, like I said, because of the limited possessions we'll get. So it's just about taking advantage of all the drives we get.
Anything else for Ty? All right, thank you. Questions for Malik?
Fun to play the triple option or not so fun?
It's a battle, man. Every time you get to face a triple option opponent. I know we played one like 2 years ago in Cal Poly, our first game, and that was kind of tough to come out and play a triple option team our first time. And even last year when we played Air Force last year, man, it was a grind. It was a battle. We know they're going to come out ready to play. They're going to be physical, so we just got to be ready to play.
What is the key? I mean, you got guys diving into your legs the whole time, and I mean, it's probably tough to locate where the ball is, but I mean, having played against it a couple times now, I mean, you have a better feel for what you guys need to do to be able to slow them down a little bit? Yeah,
I feel like the key is everybody, taking care of their job, the guy that they have. And I feel like we didn't do such a good job of that last year. And definitely we have a better understanding of how they're trying to attack us now and who we have and how we're going to play against it.
How do you feel about the state of your side of the ball as you hit conference play? I'm sure there's a couple plays you want back from last week, but overall, how did the non-conference treat you guys?
Yeah, definitely. Man, I feel like we definitely learned a lot these first 4 games as far as the defense. I definitely feel like we improved, especially from last year and against the run and, even making big plays on the defense side of the ball. We've been making big plays on the defense side of the ball, but it's about getting better every week and taking that challenge head on of, stopping whoever comes across us, getting that stop when we need to make a stop, especially when the offense is scoring points. We got to be ready in every situation.
You guys are one of the leaders in the Mountain West in sacks. For you personally, moving to linebacker this year, how have you enjoyed that position shift?
It's been great. It's been great for the entire team, entire defense, man, to, be getting after the quarterback as a group. It's fun to see, when my guys, somebody gets a sack, we celebrate it. And as far as the position move, it's been good. I'm still learning as I'm still growing each and every week, but I feel like it's been a good move. I had a little more freedom, to move around and, be able to make more plays, but I feel like it's been good.
And then Norvell was talking about Henley moving to safety this week because of Nephi's injury. Have you ever seen him play safety?
I think they tried it in the spring, a little bit of him playing safety, but I know he likes to hit. At wide receiver, he wasn't scared to hit anybody, so I feel like that would be a nice position move for him.
You mentioned the run defense. I mean, it's basically a yard and a half less per carry for the opposition. I mean, what have you guys done? Why are you better at run defense? And obviously, this is a gigantic test to stop the run here. Yeah, I feel like as far as me going back to linebacker and bringing in some bigger guys on the defensive front, we got bigger in the linebacker room, and we got bigger on the defensive front as well. And we've been more stout against the run, and I feel like we've been more physical, standing up against anybody who try to run the ball up against us. We did a good job of that. But as far as when you stop the run, you got to be better in the pass as well. So you got to get better at that too. Giving up some of that in the passing game, I guess, what have been the biggest issues as far as some big plays through the air for the opposition?
Well, the pass rush and the coverage works hand in hand. So it's either sometimes the pass rush is good and we're not so well in the back end. Sometimes the pass rush is not getting there. We're not getting the pressure on the quarterback, and the coverage is doing their job, holding their guys up, and we're just not getting any pressure on the quarterback. So we got to do a better job of, complementing each other, working together, the rush and the coverage.
You pleased with where you guys are overall heading into, conference play? I mean, you were 0-4 at this point last year, 2-2 with a win over Power 5. It's a much better situation. Yeah, definitely. As far as on both sides of the ball, I feel like we're more comfortable in each system, and it's definitely better to go in 2-2 than 0-4. But we're not complacent. We want to continue to get better. We want to be one of the top teams in this conference. So we're not complacent. We want to continue to work and get better, and be one of those top teams that can handle anybody.
What challenges does the Mountain West bring week in and week out?
The challenge is there's some good teams in the Mountain West. Some real good teams. I feel like it's like 5 teams scoring like 40 points. So it's teams putting up points. There's also some good defenses in the Mountain West as far as San Diego State, Fresno State. It's a lot of good defenses. So, I mean, you got to be ready each and every week. It's not like a week you can lay off. You got to be ready for each and every opponent. Be ready for a battle.
How much emphasis is there to get a win away from here, to know you guys can take your show on the road and come back with a W?
Man, that's huge. That's a test of a good team or a great team is winning on the road, being able to play away from your crowd and go into somebody else's house and get a win. It's tough, but that shows the maturity in your group, and how prepared you are and ready for the game.
You guys have been practicing against triple options since the beginning of fall, it looks like. I mean, how much exposure have you gotten to this up until this point, not just waiting until game week to look at it?
It was a lot. I think the coaching staff put an emphasis on the Air Force during camp, making sure that we got a good look at them and, how they're trying to attack our defenses, making sure we know who we have in the option game. And I feel like it definitely helped. As far as the guys that played last year, we know a little bit of what to expect. We know what they want to do. They're going to run the ball at you, so we know what they got to do. We just got to go stop it.
Anything else for Malik? All right, thank you.
Man. Good luck.
Questions for Taua?
What did it feel like on Saturday, man? I know you obviously want to come back with a W, but just to kind of run loose a little bit.
It felt great, just getting used to the whole thing. College football in general, going into it was like, third game? But knowing I got to get my feet wet a little bit and get my first 100 in, so it was a pretty cool experience. I'll never forget it.
What do you think's been the biggest key for you to be able to step in immediately and have an impact?
I feel like just the way we use our run game. I feel like they fit me in with a lot of the way we run the ball. Coach Mummy, he draws up a lot of formations and plays to fit me right in to run the play perfectly.
How do you feel like about the state of the offense as you guys get ready for conference play?
We got a lot to work on, but I like the way these guys came out today. First week of conference practice, came out motivated. The guys came out with some juice. I'm looking forward to going into conference.
You feel like it's like a clean slate kind of situation?
What was?
You feel like it's kind of like a clean slate situation where you're just kind of learn from the non-conference, but now you're main focus?
Yeah, that's kind of what we established during meetings. Was more of what happened, before conference. It doesn't really matter anymore. We got to focus on what's going on now. We're basically 0-0 right now, and trying to come up with a conference championship.
What have you proven to yourself just in these first 4 games and making that jump up?
One of the things I really wanted to focus on coming out here was getting used to the tempo, and I feel like I really adjusted. That was one of the main things I really wanted to focus on. I think I'm starting to get a hang of it for a little bit now, so that's one thing I'm pretty proud of right now.
You've yet to play in it, but what do you know having watched Mountain West football? I mean, what do you know about competing in this conference week in and week out?
I know it's really competitive. These guys. I know we're not Power 5, but I have a lot of guys talk about Power 5 schools and their conferences, this and that. But Mountain West is very physical, very fast. So I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do.
What do you feel like your guys' potential is as far as what you can do just in the Mountain West season?
Knowing our guys, I feel like we have a good shot of taking it this year, and we're young, but we're smart, and I feel like these guys are ready, and we're looking forward to it.